play Evil Never Sleeps by Above Only on guitar. So the main riff, you do, well, first you have to tune down to drop B, and in the description I'll put the exact notes for that. So you do on the A string, after you tune down, a power chord on the 5th fret, which would be 5 on the A, 7 on the D, and then 7 on the G. And you move that to the 3rd fret, and then back to the 5th. So 5, 5. Except I don't pick all those notes, I just do. And then what you do is bar the 5th fret of the E string, the A string, and the D string, which is also a power chord since we're in a drop tuning. So far you should have. And then what you do is, which is 3, 5, 3, barred on the A, E, and D strings. So it should be like this. And then do that over again. Except instead of coming back to the 3rd fret in the riff, you stay on the 5th fret and just let it sustain. So far you should have this. And real slow, it's going to look like this. And the last part is 3, 5, 3 twice, and then a power chord at the 3rd fret of the A string. So the whole riff sounds like this. And so they start off with a slightly distorted or overdriven setting that sounds like this. Kicks in, and then that's when they use the full distortion. And at some parts in the songs during that riff, there's a second guitar that plays this, which, along with the lead guitar, would sound like this. And those notes are on the 12th fret of the D string. It's an octave. So your first finger is on the 12th fret of the D string, and then your pinky is on the 15th fret of the B string, and together that's what they sound like. It's the same exact note, just in another octave, with 2 octaves at the same time. So you would slide that same shape with the 2 frets in between, and 1 string in between, down to the 10th fret of the D string, and then back to the 12th. So and then you go up to the 15th after you repeat this a couple times on the so after you go up to the 15th fret, you go back to the 12th fret. I think that's it. So again, it sounds like this. Then, during the verses, they just play the main riff clean, or slightly distorted or overdriven. And then, at one part in the verse, instead of doing off with this. And then they continue the rest of the riff. So it's a power chord on the 3rd fret of the A string, bent up a little bit. I can't tell if it's the 3rd or the 5th. Let's see. It's to the 5th, I think, almost. And so they bend that after they play some unmuted open E power chords, which is just the E, A, and D. And then they continue on with the riff. I don't know exactly if that's how it fits in. You have to listen to the song to get some of the rhythm if I mess it up. And then the pre-chorus is or you can also do but it's a little bit easier to do the other way. You just do a power chord on the 8th fret of the E, A, and D strings just by barring across them. To a power chord at the 5th fret by barring across the top 3 strings. And then there's a little break there. Or you can also replace this note for this note, which sounds the same. It's just a power chord at the 1st fret on the A string. And then the chorus is after a little tiny break of nothing. There's so that is a B power chord, which is just the open top 3 string. And I think you play it twice. And then you switch over and do 2 of the 1st fret of the A string, or a power chord, or you can do the 8th fret over here too. So, but I use this one. And then you just play a 3rd fret of the E string power chord. And all of those are just 2 strums each. And then instead of strumming this one twice like normal, you do it a little bit different, so it sounds like this. So you completely mute it by putting all 4 of your fingers, or I guess you could do it 2 or 1 even. Then it has harmonics, but just lightly touch the strings so that when you strike them all, they don't really make much of a sound. Just that's it, and then just 1 chord, the 3rd fret on the A string. So the chorus is. And then the second time, when you get to the C, they just doing the muting only, I think 4 times. Yeah, with a little bit of rhythm. And then you repeat that whole thing again. And then instead of doing the C chord or you do, which is on the 10th fret of the E string, a power chord. And then same for the 8th, and then 7th, so 10, 8, 7. And then just do the pre-chorus again, basically. And so now the intro and the chorus and verses are covered, and then there's the interlude riff. It sounds like this. Which is just palm muted B, and then a pull off from the third, the palm muted top 3 strings, and then just the E string alone, not a power chord. 3rd fret pulled off, and then you sound like this, and then a couple open, just in a couple open E's, so it sounds like this, and then same for the 5th fret, and then back to the 3rd again. And then you do, which is on the A string, 3, 5, 3, just single notes. And then the second time, well, I'll show it to you slowly. And then the second time, instead of doing this, you do, which is the 8th fret of the A string, and then 5, and then 3. And then I think you just repeat that. And then for the bridge, you just do the pre-chorus basically, and then when the singing cuts out, then you just do the, and then go back to this. Go back to the clean setting and do the, and somewhere in the bridge you do the same thing as you do in the verse, the bending the 3rd fret power chord on the A string. I'm not exactly sure where in it fits in, but if you listen to the song and play along with it, it's really fun. You can figure it out easily. Well, thanks for watching the video. It's a fun song to play.